Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Yes, I dedicated that song to my new friend I met in the park. Steve, what's
Steve
up, bud?
in the park.
Rockabilly Tim texted in, is this song dedicated to Steve? I just told the story about how I met this guy in the park when Harper was playing in the park, my 19-month-old daughter. And after we separated for a while, and I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but I said to Megan, I want to get his number. So I walked that long walk across the park and just said, hey, that was really nice talking to you. He said, yeah, same. Can I have your number? And then I texted him, like, it was great meeting you, and he texted back just K. So he changed the number, but I'm not sure. Kenzie says he can't just text K. You got to wait for him to text now.
Well, yeah, if he texted K, the ball's in his court.
Yeah.
K's pretty pissy. Unless he's Latin and it was like Q-U-E.
What'd you say?
He's just saying, he just is asking you a question, Brian, so let's review that later.
He was not Latin. He was a black guy.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
My man.
Well, he could still be Latin if he's, but that's a whole other can of worms for you.
I don't want to go down that wormhole right now.
I'm sure you cannot mentally handle that. I liked Kelly texted it and said, maybe he knew who you were and you lied and he decided you're not a good, honest friend. You blew it.
Wow, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, you're just a
Holy
liar.
cow. Yikes.
You're just a liar.
Maybe. I'm not. I just want him to like me for me. I just don't want to get into what I do for work yet.
Because you don't want to say, I'm Brian from Q101, Brian and Kenzie in the morning, very successful show. And then he goes,
I hope you never say that. I hope you never introduce yourself like
okay.
that.
Actually, I do it all the time.
Uncomfortable.
I do it all the time.
Leave my name out of your mouth when you do
should
that.
help promote the show by saying these things, Kenzie. Help promote us.
I think that unpromotes the show. If you walk up and do that to some poor person who's like, well, I'm just your waitress. Would you?
but I think Brian was afraid that he'd be like, oh, well, you obviously know the Riot Fest lineup. Do you want to tell me in advance? Hey, I'm sure you have Twisted Christmas tickets for this year. I heard those shows are getting put together right now. Do you want to just send me those tickets ahead of time? That's what Brian didn't want. He wanted an honest connection with another older man.
And by the way, when I have friends, I like to take care of friends.
Hell yeah, you're a good man.
I take care of friends with as many tickets as I can.
Charitable. That's how I would describe you.
I invite people to the house for Super Bowl parties. I love entertaining. I love that.
I've literally never been to your house.
But I've invited you.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
I invited you to see the baby, and then you didn't come.
Oh, that's true. I didn't do that. Also, I canceled my Super Bowl party this year. That's right. We were going to do that. So we'll get together soon.
Okay.
You, me, and Steve are going to get together.
Steve in the park.
But people checking in, like how you make an adult friend. And Kenzie told me an interesting story about how she made a friend, but then something went awry in this friendship.
Okay, so I went to one of my friends' 50th birthday parties. He threw a huge bash. No, this is pre-COVID, okay?
Yep.
He had a huge party. Like, he rented a venue for it, okay?
Right.
And I show up, and I had to go without my husband at the time. He was my boyfriend because he was working, and he was coming later. And I run into a girl. We were both there by ourselves.
Oh.
Her boyfriend, who's now her husband, was also joining later, right? And we were just talking. We had a lot. We started talking to each other because we liked each other's outfits, whatever. So both of our then boyfriends, now husbands, show up. They had known each other for 20 years.
Oh, my God.
So we're like, oh, this is my husband, this is my boyfriend, this is my boyfriend. And they're like, oh, hey, what's up?
Hey,
Like,
what's up, bro?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we've been friends for 20 years. And
I'm going to see you Wednesday, right?
yeah, we're like, it was unbelievable that we randomly became friends, and then our boyfriends, now husbands, had been friends for literally 20 years. So became the perfect double date scenario. Nobody's sacrificing, because normally in the double date, someone's sacrificing. One group is better friends than the other.
Yeah,
right?
and so you just like eased into a friendship without any kind of risk or vulnerability.
Yeah, like I didn't have to meet up with his friend's wife to see if we like him, because I always felt like my husband treated me like a golden retriever with his friends. He'd be like, hey, he's got a girlfriend. She's the same age as you. I'm like, what's this, a play date? That's all I have in common with her is like my age. She has brownish black hair, so you guys are obviously going to get along.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So I was very excited to actually meet a decent person off the bat.
And you guys are good to this day now.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would argue that we're closer than them, and they've known each other for 20 years.
I'm curious if Case, the producer, has made an adult friend. He's 25 years old, and this is a big problem in America. People in Chicago, people are lonely, and you just got to take a chance on being a friend and put yourself out there.
ABBA.
Another album reference for today.
Can I just sing it?
chance
One,
on
two.
me.
Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3.
Take a chance on me. I'll put you to the test.
I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
I don't know anything after that.
Yeah.
I only actually know that other part.
So, Case, have you?
No, I
Oh, boy,
haven't.
that's
I
too
haven't.
bad.
I'm sorry. Well, you know, I've been with my girlfriend now for 2 years, and she has a lot of friends. None of those friends date. They have the worst selection in guys, so whenever we're around one of those guys, I don't hit it off with them. And then I go to all these concerts, and I go to a lot of punk shows in Chicago, small venues, small clubs. I see the same guys there. I know all the guys, but I'm afraid they're not going to like me. And I don't know how to be like, hey, you were at the show last month at this same exact place at this same exact time. It's crazy you're here again. Do you want to be friends and then go to the one the next month together? That never happens. I'm afraid to initiate anything.
Well, I think saying that you've seen them a bunch, like you can't be like, hey, remember when you were here and here and here? You can't do that. But I think you could create small talk and be like, oh my God, you love band? Like I would play it cool, like, oh, I didn't know you came to all these.
You want me to start it off? I'm going to be at a concert. I'm going to see a guy that I recognize, that I don't know, but a guy that I've seen. And my opening line is, hey, you love bands?
Hey, like those guys that are playing? Yeah. Well, so in fairness, sometimes you go to shows that there's only 3 people. So it actually is a pretty big conversation starter to be like, hey, you also like them?
This is what I mean by I see the same guys every month.
Yeah. Why did none of them talk to you either?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because Case is first on everything. He was first on Turnstile, first on Military Gun, all the hardcore bands out there that have risen to big fame.
Let alone Beach Bunny, to name a few.
Case is big on these bands first because he goes 7 nights a week to concerts. So, to Kenzie's point, you're probably the same kind of people who are at those shows that can go out on a Wednesday night to see a hardcore show.
I can't believe you guys don't just group hug when you get there.
Hey! Oh! High five. Where are you gonna stand? You gonna stand there? Or am I gonna stand? You
you guys jump on each other. You can't talk to each other?
Well, no, we're too busy jumping.
Okay.
Jump up, and get down.
Huh.
All right.
So we leave this conversation with Brian not having a friend.
Or should people help me out here and say, I want to text first? After he said K to me, I want to text something first. What do you think I should text him back? And I will. I'll text Steve back. The guy I met in the park who...
But he doesn't want you to text him back because you were okay.
I'm not sure about that. That's your opinion. I value it, but I'm not sure.
You don't value my opinion. Don't lie.
I do.
Don't get on the
I do.
radio and lie.
You know what you should do, Brian? You should do a classic male maneuver here. This is going to reel him in like a fish. Text him tonight. Just say, you watching the game? He's not going to know what game you're talking about, but he's going to be interested.
Can I text him like a GIF? A GIF?
Well,
like
first
what?
off,
Like
the
what?
second you call it a GIF, he's not going to text you back
By
either.
the way, the guy that created GIFs said they should be. It was meant to be pronounced GIF.
Well, too bad.
Everybody ruined it. Just kind of like Chad Kruger from Nickelback. Chad Kruger is how you're supposed to say his name.
Yeah, not Kroger. Like
Not
the store.
Kroger.
Oh,
That's
I thought
right.
you meant he also ruined something. I go, what did he ruin?
Yeah. Should I send him
I
that?
like his music.
Well, what gift do you want to send?
How about the Homer
How about
Simpson in the
girl-
bushes?
How about the girl with all the hot dogs getting thrown on her face?
Just out of nowhere?
Wait, what gift is that, Kenzie?
You guys haven't seen the girl with like the million hot dogs getting chucked on her face?
No.
Type it in right now. Like, look at your gifts.
Can you text it? Just text it.
Okay, I'll put it in the group chat. Well, now my husband's gonna be like, "Why'd you send that to them?" Hold on.
But should there be any reason why I'm sending it?
No.
Just send hot dogs thrown on a woman's
I think that
face.
you've already ruined the relationship, so let's just try to make it weird now.
It hasn't started. The
Weeds
relationship
ruined.
hasn't started yet.
Because he doesn't want it to. So I think that now we just got to make it as funny as possible.
You know what, Brian? If you go to your gift bar on your text screen and type in hot dog face, it's pretty funny.
Okay,
Oh,
I
I've
just sent
seen
it.
it.
No, I just sent it in the group chat. I just sent it in the group chat.
Yeah,
to
I've
see if
seen it.
You have to send that to him.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
You could also test him just this glazed donut that's dripping. That's kind of funny.
So if we did the hot dogs first and then the glazed donut, he's going to get the
Yeah.
wrong idea.
That's right, because there's a hole there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about again?
All kinds of stuff.
Like what?
Sports, life, marriage, kids, Chicago. This is where we
Text
live.
him a gift that represents everything you talked about, like one gift for each subject.
Well, that's the hot dog girl
Yeah,
face.
the hot dog girl.
That's her. All right. Well, I'll keep you posted tomorrow at this time on what happened when I text him. You guys text him what I should say, and I'll text him that. And at 8:09 tomorrow, I'll tell you what I texted him, what the answer was.
Okay, and now you can also vote for what I said and just send him the hot dog. That's make sure
No,
you
because
send
if
the-
too many people vote for that, I have to do that.
I know, and I can't wait.
All right. Well, I'll let you know what he says. Either one. It's either that one. If you want to vote for what Kenzie said to do, then I'll do that. I'll just send him
Yay.
the girls with hot dogs on her face. We'll just do that. Tomorrow at this time, we'll let you know what happens. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. I'll tell you what, coming up here about 8:17, we have beaches in the lounge this Friday. It's part of Q101's picnic at the Taste of Randolph. Winner will get 2 passes to the lounge. plus get to hang out with us and Beaches and any band that just stops through on Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. before the doors officially open for the Taste of Randolph. So we'll have that when we come back here at 8:17, just about 6 minutes away.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and time to pour one out for someone that, it's a phrase that people use often. They're built different. And we talk about somebody that's just an incredible person, and they're just built different from all of us. And that's what this guy was, and he died over the weekend. Now, this is an astronaut named William Anders. Ring a bell, Kenzie, at all?
No.
Okay. He was on Apollo 8. So Apollo 11 landed on the moon. That was that was Neil Armstrong, first time walking on the moon. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. That's what he said. Instead of like, yeah, I'm on the moon, bitches.
He said, suck it, Soviets.
Honestly, big miss.
Yeah.
Big miss. It could have been the best shirt ever, but okay.
So William Anders was on Apollo 8, which took off, and it ended up orbiting the moon 10 times. There were 3 people on that mission, and then they turned around and they came back. They didn't land
3
on
times, not like they just got lost. Like, ow, I missed my turn again.
Missed the,
Why
like, you're,
going around 3 times?
like you're at O'Hare, and you can't get to the gate,
it's
so
like-
you keep going around.
It's like in European vacation. Hey kids, Big Ben in Parliament, and he gets stuck in the roundabout. Like that's what I imagine around the moon. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, this poor guy had to go to the moon, but then not go and land on it because they weren't ready yet. But he's responsible for a picture that every one of us has seen. It's that famous picture of the Earth in the sky, them looking back from the moon. They're on it,
Like
but
a
over
selfie?
it.
What
They're
are
not-
them looking back? It was a selfie?
Their faces aren't in it, but they're looking back at the Earth. They call it the Earthrise picture.
Oh.
And this is probably one of the most copied and reposted pictures of all time. Besides some Instagram's model's butt somewhere, I don't know, just something like that.
That's nice.
Kenzie, Google Earthrise picture. You'll have seen this. Everybody knows this photo. It's the photo of the moon and the Earth. It's
I just feel like I've seen a lot of pictures of
no,
Earth.
but this one's like a special one.
Oh.
Doesn't sound very special to kids.
Well, you got half the Earth in it.
Yeah. Well, that's
You went all the way up there. You got half the Earth.
well, because the sun, the reflection of the moon was back on the Earth. So half the Earth, has night. So that's the nighttime sky of the Earth.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It makes us remember how small we are.
Yeah.
So tiny.
So this guy was 90 years old, and he died. Now, you might think he died of old age, and 90's a great run by any means. No. This guy died flying a plane by himself, a kind of an experimental plane, just screwing around.
I guess they're not going to sell that plane, huh?
I don't know.
Ugh, experiment didn't go well.
I think Boeing made it.
You're next. Brian's going to be dead tomorrow.
No, because I'm not built like this guy. I would not get up in some small, tiny plane and go do like loops. He was doing a huge loop, and the plane kind of gave out, and he hit the water and exploded, and he died.
Wow.
That's how he died, this guy.
No parachute up in that thing?
Well, there's no way. When you see the video, which I'm trying to find, it's a 30-second video. You can see what happens, and he kind of heads straight down, trying to make a big loop, and then he doesn't get up in time, and he crashes, and he dies.
Oh, that stinks. 90 flying a plane for adventure, though. That's pretty badass.
Right, this guy's not sitting whittling on a porch somewhere on a stick.
Whittling.
You ever heard of whittling?
Yeah, but I think that's not an old activity either. You cut your hand. It's like a whole thing.
I think old people
You
whittle.
have shaky hands when you're old. You can't do that.
Well, what should a 90-year-old guy be? What would be a typical 90-year-old guy thing to do?
I was watching TV.
Yeah, Andy Griffith reruns.
Yes.
Yeah.
MASH.
Yes.
Nope, not this mother effer.
Pat Sajak's farewell episode. He's
On
tuned in.
loop. Yep.
Amen.
I watched that Friday.
Yeah.
It made you emotional.
It did. Harper really got emotional
I just don't think
watching
you understand how hard whittling is. I think you just really brush it over. Like, it's so tiny.
Are you thinking of knitting, Brian?
No, I'm thinking of whittling.
No, I think you're thinking of knitting.
No, I'm not.
Whittling's a very sharp knife into wood, and you gotta you think about you're usually on blood thinners by that age because the clots you get a cut, it's over.
Are you trying to tell me
whittle.
I don't know what whittling is?
Explain to me what whittling is.
I don't think you get it.
You take a knife, like a Swiss Army knife,
Yes.
and grab the nearest stick.
Yeah.
And you just start shaving all the stuff off and make a spear out of it.
No, you usually are carving something special, like you whittle like a thing of a fox or something.
I made spears when I whittled. That's what I did.
I love that. Let's go over to Grandpa Brian's house. Be careful of all the spears he's got. He looks like an Ewok. He's got all these wooden spears at his house.
I mean, then he's gonna trip. He's old. He can't have spears all over the house. And a knife in his pocket.
I don't think you could whittle now, let alone later.
Oh, give me a stick.
Whittling is super hard.
Give me a stick. I'll show you whittling.
Okay, go get a butter case. Go get the butter knife out of the kitchen.
No,
and
I need a Swiss Army knife.
You don't have a. Do you have one?
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
What a wimp. Doesn't even have a Swiss Army knife.
God, I want a
you
knife.
You call yourself a man?
Know what? Go down to the conservative talk station down the hallway. I know one of those guys for sure has a Swiss Army knife on him right now. They all wear Carhartts. That just oozes Swiss Army knife.
Can they bring knives in the building?
A Swiss Army knife doesn't count.
The Swiss one is very sophisticated.
It's for helping.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this guy was out here flying around. It was out in Washington, out in Seattle, Washington, and he crashed his plane just because he lived for thrill. He lived for invention.
He crashed his flying machine, some would say.
He certainly did. I'm not going to play that audio right now. I know everybody's dying for it. Everybody's texting me. I'm not going to play it because that would be dishonorable to this man who took one of the greatest pictures of all time, one of the greatest Americans. And at 90, he was still going for it.
I love that.
God.
I do love that. I mean, don't you feel like right now you're not going for it enough, just looking at that?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that, Brian? How are you
Go
going to take
home
life?
and whittle?
How are you going to take life by the balls?
I am going to start by whittling today. I'm going to go. First, I'm going to go buy a Swiss Army knife. Where do you buy a Swiss Army knife?
Walmart probably has them.
Okay.
I think you got to go to
Cabela's.
like Gander Mountain.
Yeah,
I don't think those are in
Cabela's,
existence anymore, but Gander Mountain would be my
Fleet
go-to.
Farm.
Tractor Supply.
Dick's Sporting Goods probably has some.
But why
Maybe.
would you do that? That's not the spirit of buying a knife. You don't want to buy a knife at Dick's Sporting Goods. You want to buy it at a masculine place. I don't want to get it next to my T-ball equipment.
Yeah, or your Under Armour like hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. You go to a real man's place if you're going to buy a knife.
Do Cabela's. They have you can also rock climb while you're there to be a fun little afternoon.
Where's the nearest Cabela's?
It's
Got to be pretty far. It's got to be pretty far out for me.
All right, let me look it up. I'll use my maps on my phone because it'll bring up the nearest one.
Okay, do that. Thanks, Kenzie.
23 miles in Hammond.
Okay, I'll go to Hammond. Okay.
Cabela's in Hammond. That's like finding the Holy Grail.
Look how cool this is. Look at the scenery in the middle of the store.
Oh, they
you
have.
don't even have to go camping. It already looks like you're there.
There are some Cabela's that have like a creek going through it with fish in it.
Yeah, this has fake deer on that creek. This is badass. You have to get your knife here.
My Indiana people, who wants to meet up at Cabela's today?
Can you drive there and buy a knife today? You gotta get it from here.
This is how you make an adult friend, Brian. You go to Cabela's and go to the knife section.
Look at that. There's a waterfall.
Oh.
This is like going on a vacation.
Oh,
There's
this
a
is nice.
waterfall there.
Oh, here's a weird one. If you want a knife, go to AutoZone, apparently. 773 checked in, said they sell knives. I would not have guessed that.
Hello.
Me either.
Don't they sell?
Maybe he just sells knives. He's like, you can buy mine. I'm at AutoZone. I'll sell it to you.
Don't they sell oil?
That's what I thought.
And windshield wipers?
Tires?
Knives?
They're for real men who could only change their own oil, so you get a knife while you're there.
You know what? That's actually a good point, because the people that do that still go for it, changing their own oil. I can't do that either.
This is a good follow-up question. Okay, we know where to get a knife. What does AutoZone sell? Is a great question.
We started here.
Accessories.
We started here pouring one out from William Anders, who was a real man, built different, and he passed away crashing his plane at 90 years old over the weekend. And boy, I just really gotten depressed on what I am as a man.
You know, people are arguing with me about which Cabela's is closer, and it's like, you know what? You're not sitting where I'm sitting. Maybe that's just closer to you. They're like, actually, and it's like, well, this is just what the GPS says. That's the closest one. It ranges it by miles.
Yeah, because there is one out in Hoffman Estates or whatever, which
But
is
by
probably
mileage, it's saying that Hammond's closer.
Yeah, we're at the NBC
Sorry, I don't want
Tower.
to argue with the satellite.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
one else is. We're the only people sitting in this room. I'm just saying. They're like, well, near me. Well, fine. Go pick up Brian a knife near yours.
And that's where we led here. See, we're talking about, I was saying 90-year-old people most of the time they're whittling, and Kenzie and Case believe that no, old people don't whittle because their hands arthritis.
Shaky. It's
Yeah,
very,
arthritis.
there are blood thinners. It's very dangerous for a 90-year-old to be whittling.
Why do you keep saying blood thinners? Is every old person on blood thinners?
Most older people, because you're it's very risky for blood clots. So you go on blood thinners, and then that's when you bruise like a peach. And then if you get a paper cut, you got to go to the hospital. It's a whole thing.
Well, you're not going to like this because I bruise easy too without blood thinners.
I know, like a peach.
I have like a banana, like those bananas at Jewel. I think you just touch my
like the
forearm.
ones at Jewel specifically, or just like a banana?
I just meant I didn't mean. I'm not disparaging Jewel. I'm just saying that bananas that have
Like
spots.
those ass bananas
No,
at Jewel.
no, I didn't mean that. I did not. Jewel, I love your bananas. That's all I'm saying.
Someone says AutoZone sells crack in the parking lot. That's not good.
I don't think that's true.
Me either.
It depends probably on your AutoZone.
It's like a
but-
pop-up store.
Yeah. All right, we're pouring one out for William Anders, who took the famous Earthrise photo. You've all seen it. And 90 years old, crashed a plane over the weekend. Could have just been whittling on the porch. Probably living under 10 years.
So that's way more dangerous.
Kept going for it. We salute you, William Anders. Great American. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. I just got to explain how we got here before we answer some of these texts, because we were pouring one out for William Anders, the astronaut who was on Apollo 8, who took the famous Earthrise picture, and he died over the weekend, age of 90, crashing a plane, just having some fun going for it. He was doing a huge loop and hit the water.
What a life.
What a legend. And he didn't have to do that. I said he could have been whittling on the porch. And then Kenzie said, I think whittling's pretty tough. Old people's hands shake. They're on blood thinners.
It's dangerous. A lot of them are on blood thinners. It's very dangerous.
And then that led to trying to find a knife so I could see if I could whittle today to show everybody I could whittle.
You cannot whittle. That is such a skill for you to just crap all over what a craft that is.
Well, see, you take whittling as making like
figurines.
Yeah.
Beautiful works.
when I was a kid, I used to whittle and just make spears.
No, that's just you messing around.
You know, you gotta get the knots of the other branches off the stick.
Well, thank you for the sound effect.
Honestly, it was a great sound. Do that again.
Wow, I felt like I was there.
Oh
my God.
Are you whittling?
Yeah.
I just saw you as a child.
Holy cow.
Oh my God, I've been transported back in time.
And then it led to a conversation of where do you find a switchblade, or I'm sorry, a Swiss Army knife. And AutoZone came up somehow that AutoZone sells them.
Apparently, I thought they sold tires. Turns out they sell knives, but not tires.
Yeah, so
You know what? Speaking of places selling things, okay? So my
Yeah.
brother is a mechanic, in the car world. So my brother's a mechanic, and he was gonna fix my car a few years ago, but he gave me a list of things I had to go pick up. And I didn't know I think I went to Discount Tire, AutoZone. I went to 3 places because I'm are they here? I'm not sure. And so I go around, I'm looking for these things. But he wrote fake stuff on the list. And one of them was a flux capacitor.
Oh, from Back to the Future.
And it sucked because everyone just kept laughing at me. And I didn't know what I actually needed off the list. And it was a big bummer.
I can imagine that when you said and they laughed, you just left and didn't ask why they were laughing. And then you went to another store and asked about the flux capacitor and he kept
I was
asking for
this
it.
guy's an idiot. My brother knows what he's doing. He's a mechanic. And then at the third store, I'm like, I've had enough.
Oh, that's so good. Patty checked in from 630 and said, my dad used to whittle until he was about 83, I think.
See?
But no, I'm saying they can whittle.
But he had to stop. He didn't whittle till the day he died.
Well,
that would be a text that this fight's on my side, not your side.
Patty, I'm not trying to say the wrong thing here, but maybe he passed at 83.
Oh.
I don't know that.
Maybe he just got on blood thinners at 83.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I hope he's...
My dad whittled till he was about 83. I feel like she would have said, my dad whittled for his whole life, is what she would have said.
Huh.
Up until it.
Patty, I hope your dad's still around, Patty. I hope he's...
I hope he's still around and he didn't stop whittling.
Well, he stopped at 83, but I hope he starts up again because I think everybody can whittle till they're in the ground.
You can't whittle till you're in the ground. I'm trying to tell you this. It's big. It's a lot.
Case, what do you got on the text line?
Alex from the region checked in. He said, Brian, come to the Hammond Cabela's and get a knife, and then I'll take you out fishing on my fishing boat. He says, we'll make a man out of you.
Thank God.
Oh, my God. That's
Can
terrifying.
we please make a man out of you?
What are you going to do on that boat, Alex?
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.